Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Growth Show, virtual edition. I'm here with Shelly Millwee from the Bay Area Heart Association. Shelly, we're excited to have you today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, excited to be a part of this. So I've had the pleasure of getting to know Shelly before the episode. And today we're going to break from our traditional format. This is really one of those get the news out type of episodes. Obviously, with COVID-19, the changes and the potential obstacles and things that exist out there, especially when it comes to large gatherings, people have been probably scratching their heads. I'm sure there's a number of people listening and or tuned into this right now that anticipate those walks, those opportunities to give back, those chances to serve. And I know that many of us that are involved in organizations and places like that have been kind of chomping at the bit to give back and to serve. And so this is one of those chances to participate in that. So we're going to, really today is about not only the Heart Association, the work that they do, the money that they raise, the impact that they make. So we're going to tell a quick story about the work of days past, and then what that work looks like heading into the future. And so, and by the future, we mean, maybe the next year or two as we kind of, navigate this new environment where, the environment and the world of COVID-19. So that being said, Shelly, welcome. Great chatting with you. Now you're the Vice President of Development for your organization, which means you're responsible for, spreading the Heart Walk gospel. And so I'd love to hear from you. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are up to, a little bit about the organization and the work that you guys do.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to be on today. It's definitely a different world that we're living in right now. I think we've all heard the word unprecedented times, but, I got to say we are just very focused right now on how we can lean in with our community. We know that there are a lot of people out there hurting, whether they're impacted by business or impacted just by health. And the Heart Association is really trying to join other organizations in addressing some immediate needs. So, through our major events over the years, we've had some really exceptional events in our Bay Area. We have our annual Go Red for Women luncheon. Of course, we have a pretty large heart walk that we've done for years and years out at the Kemah Boardwalk. We have 5 area heart walks that happen every year. Thousands of people come out. And, with the pandemic, we really had to stop and think, how do we continue to get critical life-saving education out to our community and keep them active in a different world? We obviously can't bring thousands of people out together. It'd be irresponsible for us as a health impact organization to do that now. So we have reimagined our work really as we look forward to the next, even full year during this time. So it's allowed for a lot of creativity. Let me say that.
Fantastic. Well, first of all, again, before we go too much further, I know I want to thank you for coming on the show, but I think it's really important to acknowledge just the amount of work. I can only imagine or envision that when you get called into action and you can't just hang it up, you just can't say, okay, we're going to shut it down for a year or two and hopefully heart disease cures itself and we'll just go into a pocket somewhere. That's not how that works. And so I'm sure, so for people to have to rally the countless hours and things that have to go on behind the scenes to pick up and literally flip a model upside down, right? Lots of people have been forced into doing it. I'm sure there's been a few long days stacked in front of you, maybe too many Zoom calls in a row. So again, thank you for your service. So with that being said, for those of us that don't know, we understand what heart disease is. We understand it. I think it would be tough to say you live in the United States and don't understand its impact, it being one of the largest reasons for people's passing here in the United States. And so that being said, tell us a little bit about, in times past, what these walks really generate, type of, where those funds go. I think when people hear that, what does that really mean? So tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, if you've been around, you've been to your grocery store, you've picked up a prescription for, high blood pressure or something along those lines, you've heard about the Heart Association. We are an evidence-based, volunteer-led organization organization. We've been around since the early 20s. And, most folks are aware of the Heart Association because they know that we fund research. And research is really a cornerstone of our work. Here, in the Texas Medical Center, world-class medical center, we have about $13 million in active research funding with a number of grants. And so we really hang our hats on having, funded some of those early career investigators that have led to some phenomenal discoveries. And so, while that is a cornerstone of what we do, I will share, we are really, really focused on how do we just improve health across the board. It's not just about heart disease. 80% of heart disease is actually preventable. And that's through lifestyle changes and knowing your numbers and staying physically active and not smoking. All of those key critical lifestyle factors really can help you live a longer, healthier life. So from the Heart Association standpoint, right now, we're just trying to get people connected. We are very focused on mental health as an organization. If we're not mentally healthy, how can we ever be physically healthy? And certainly right now we're seeing, an uptick in just a lot of stress and, it's just complicated times, right, with the pandemic. So,
yes.
We're trying really hard to just get our work out and, not so much focus on the research. Again, research is critical and paramount. It's not going anywhere. But we've most recently launched a number of programs to partner with food banks. We've been partnering with Texas farmers to get out community sourced agriculture boxes to families that are in need. And in these boxes of fresh fruits and vegetables that they're also getting information about how to cook healthy meals and healthy vegetables, what to do with them. And it's just been great to see us be able to step into that need right now, really thinking about nutrition and health. So it's been a really rewarding experience.
So I have essentially a 20-year experience in the health and wellness industry. I'm no longer in it today, but I spent about 16 years in the fitness industry. And one thing that I know hands down is the best cure for any disease is avoiding the disease through health and wellness. And so that's something I was unaware of. Hopefully our audience is really tuning into that, because not just working on research and development for how do we fight it, but the fact that you guys are taking a proactive approach to get good fruits, vegetables, menus, things, and items in front of people's hands so that they can attack it at the root, right? The diet. And I think that's critical. And right now, and I think we've all shared this. I think I told a friend the other night, I said, I was working on a goal planning thing with my wife, and was talking to a friend in advance. And I said, you don't realize it until you get at home and you have, a couple of glasses of wine every night. And then all of a sudden a couple of glasses of wine, turns into, well, why not some cheese? And then why not this? And then 20 pounds later, right, in 3 months. And then all of a sudden you're like, and seemingly those 20 pounds come on a lot faster than they come off. And so with this added stress that you just described, it's just been like an extra weight that we're all carrying, an extra burden. So the fact that you guys are actually reaching out and tapping into individuals at their core right now to do and fight the good fight speaks a lot for the organization, because I think if as an individual who wants to know where does my check go, that makes me feel good knowing that you guys are pivoting. You guys are still getting creative with how do we fight the fight in this new world. I think you were going to say.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the things that we try to do is really lead by example, right? So, for example, many of us are spending hours and hours on video calls, it's just back to back to back sitting, right? Which we know is not good for our health to be sitting that long. So, my team and us at the Heart Association, we've actually implemented walking meetings. And if we're going to be on Zoom, we're walking around the neighborhood and we're having conversations. There may be a note taker. We're encouraging, people to take, 5 minutes in their day, schedule 5 minutes on your calendar to breathe. No email, nothing. Sit there 5 minutes, take a couple of breaths and refocus, because, we're just moving at such a fast pace. And, another kind of example, we're working with a lot of companies and just how do we create a sense of gratitude? We've started a 21-day challenge around gratitude. How do we just focus on the positive? There's so many things we can't control right now around us in the environment, but there's so many amazing, wonderful things that are coming from some of this adversity. And so we're trying to lead by example. We're trying to inspire our companies to, connect to their employees, which is what we're doing through our Heart Walk experience this year.
Yeah, I think one of the things you really touched up on, and then we'll transition, but I really want to highlight, recognize you guys leading that charge with what you just described. And hopefully, if there's some stakeholders, company operators, and people listening to this right now, they'll tune into that key thing. Right now, I think our first DNA wiring was, okay, let's move everything at home. Let's fire it up. We won't miss a beat. And then I know, speaking for myself, I went on a vacation, and I had identified it while I was on vacation. I was gone for 3 days. With no Zoom or anything, and I realized I was burned out. And having realized that, I realized that the day before I had been on 7 back-to-back Zoom calls from start to finish. So while it was 7 hours, it didn't seem like a long day. There was no gap. There was just talking, listening, looking at a screen. And that had been kind of the rhythm or the pace for multiple weeks. And so I read an entire article from multiple CEOs on the Wall Street Journal the other day that described this new platform of paying attention to employee needs and this kind of the mental capacity. And so while I believe there's going to be a massive amount of technological advances on the other side of this thing, a lot of times we see great things established. I think if employers can actually really enable and grasp this concept and idea of essentially a balanced approach to what they ask for their employees, we're going to see an improvement in retention, wellness, more of a wellness platform, walking and Zooming. I mean, how cool would that be if that became a thing, even when the pandemic leaves, right? Where people were encouraged to be out and about and getting sunlight while they're on a call. Because we know eventually, essentially sometime in the future, there won't be standardized meetings. People won't necessarily have to come to the office for a quick Zoom call when you can get everybody on a call, but do it outdoors, do it at a park. Like, how cool is that? I mean, so I think there's going to be some neat stuff on the other side of this deal. Hopefully employers are paying attention to that. Great to hear that you guys are. So with that being said, talk to us about the walk, right? Because right. We can't all get 10,000 people on a phone on a Zoom call and go for a walk. I mean, that would be pretty cool, but so it's coming up, right? It's gonna be out in the future, and now it's gonna be completely different, but it still needs to happen. We need to raise some money for the work that you guys do. Talk to us about what that looks like here in the future.
Yeah, so, this year our Heart Walk is going to be a digital experience, and we have really set a bold goal to get 1 million people moving and raising money to save lives. And, this year we actually anticipate this being our biggest Heart Walk we've ever seen. And, what's exciting about that is that we've just redesigned it to get more people moving across the nation. And, together we're going to be able to help fund some of the really critical needs that we have. The Heart Association is working on right now. So, we've got a goal for 1 million walkers. We're moving all the action online, and people are going to be able to reach, more people than ever. So we have a great app, and in our app, our Heart Walk app, you can download it through your, Google or Android Apple providers. There's actually a step challenge, and it's incorporated, and it connects to your iHealth and your health platforms, your Fitbits. And it's great because there's leaderboards. And so you can actually challenge your coworkers and your networks that are signed up as teams amongst steps. So it's not just about how many dollars you're raising to fund the mission. It's about how are you actually putting that to practice in your own life. And so, we believe nothing really unites a team like doing good together. And, so right now we've introduced a lot of a new activity tracker, a lot of challenges, makes it very easy for people to connect and be able to share and get rewarded along the way. So on November 12th, we're actually going to have a 30-minute digital kickoff, I guess, for a walk where you are. We are going to celebrate our walkers and all the companies that have been engaged with us. We're going to celebrate all that we were able to do during this, unusual time. So now is really a sprint for us. We're kicking off, with a 4-week challenge. It actually starts today. We've launched Heart Walk Wednesdays. So we encourage you to take 30 minutes on a Wednesday and get your team set up. Today is a great time to do that. And we'd love to, get your team on board. We are 40% of people that are hospitalized with COVID are actually heart or stroke patients. And so there's a very unique tie to the work that we do and where we are spending our energy to those that are impacted by COVID. And so, we're living this every day, and the work that you do matters.
Hey, oh, that is awesome. And so, I tell you what, that is enthusiastic, or very very exciting. And I couldn't be more enthusiastic to share that story. Typically, I think we're gonna have to move this episode up to get it out in some hands quickly, just because it's essential. So essentially, what we have, just to make sure I understand, it's a 4-week sprint. So in 4 weeks. And if I was to get a hold of this episode or tune into this, I'm going to personally go to LinkedIn today, share that, engage a lot of individuals because of the importance of the message, even before we get this edited and publicized. But let's just put that into perspective. So over the next 4 weeks, teams, companies, organizations, you can rally behind adding a little bit of exercise. And I think right now, if I could put something out there, if I was a leader, put something out there in my team's hands to say, hey guys, I know we're all at home. Why don't we all team up for this? Heck, let's just do it because it's good to do. Maybe would break the monotony, get some, and I think probably for a number of organizations, if you're following the economy, there's a lot of doom and gloom, right? We got a lot of things that are hard on the heart right now. And they might be good to have something that would fill it up with some joy and a sense of giving and teamwork and engagement. So very, very enthusiastic to hear that. Love how they're doing it. So as we get ready to transition from just exit the episode with some last minute comments from you, what I really want to hear is, where do I start? So I'm ready to go. I got to go. I'm going to go post today. I'm going to pull it up and tell people they got to get involved. Where do I go get all the information so I can share it with my site? Tell me where I go.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can search online. We have our Bay Area Houston Heart Walk, great website where you can get all the information. You can also reach out to me, Shelly Millwee, and my email, shelly.millwee@heart.org, and we'll be happy to connect you with a couple of our staff people. We'd love to do a kickoff. Don't let the 4-week lead time scare you. We have people that join and sign up for a walk 2 days before. For us, it is about just connecting people, getting you plugged in. We've got a ton of resources available for companies that are free and just help you kind of, make that culture of health and create that culture of health within your company. So a lot of free resources. Feel free to reach out to me, find us on the web, and we'll be happy to connect you.
Fantastic. And so any parting comments, words of inspiration, anything that you want to share as we get ready to wrap up today?
Yeah, I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be on this program today. I want to thank all of our business leaders in the Bay Area. In that particular area of town, you guys have just really continued to show your support for us year after year, and we just can't do it without you. So thank you for your passion for our mission and for your commitment to your employees and your companies. We just really thank you. Looking forward to many more and finishing the year strong.
Thank you, Shelly. And really, I think her thank you is really directed to those that are listening to the podcast, right? And so if you're tuned in right now, it means that you're actively involved and a stakeholder in the region, that you have a vested interest. That's the reason why you tune into this show. We don't bring on guests to talk about interesting dynamics and things going around the planet. We bring them on to talk specifically about our Gulf Coast. And one of the things that we continuously talk about and champion is just the value of all the different organizations and bodies and governing bodies that pull together when in times of need. We've seen it countless times, And this is one of those times that we will continue to see it. And Shelly mentioned it when she talked about the business owners, people, those contributors in the Bay Area. Well, the Bay Area is our audience. It's the Gulf Coast, everything running all the way from up to Galveston, inside the loop, all the way down to the refineries, to the beaches. And so we're excited for those individuals that contribute, give back, and help build our economy. And so I want to thank you for tuning in. I would ask, one big ask for our audience today is that you would take this episode and that you would just pass it on to 5 to 10 people. 5 to 10 people, ask them, call them to action, say, hey, walk with me. Let's have some fun. Let's log into this thing and let's see if I can outwalk you. I think we're pretty competitive by nature. I know there's a lot of guys and gals walking large footprints when they're in the refineries and behind the gates, or working on the port, or out in, whether you're in construction boots or in scrubs in one of our hospital systems, you're walking a lot. And so why not track it? Why not engage people? Why not get people excited about it? And let's do that over the next few months to help bring some awareness and help those individuals battling heart disease. So again, stay tuned to us. Reach out to Shelly. If you want more information to connect with her and you miss any of that, always you can connect to me. My co-host, he's not with us today, Clint Aiken. We will be back in to the studio hopefully sometime soon. In the meantime, glad to have our guest. And always you can check in at the Economic Alliance Gulf Coast Houston Port Region. You can always check in with the Houston Port Region to track, log, and follow up with our episodes. Tune in and subscribe, or our YouTube channels, or any of your favorite outlets for gathering podcast. We're thankful to have you. I'm thankful to have you as an audience, and humbled to be a part of this experience with Shelly. So great. Good luck to you, Shelly. We appreciate you. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.